Today we're talking with Simon Raik-Allen, the CTO of MYOB. Simon, one of the major talking points in Australia at the moment is the NBN. It's something that we're all going to get in one form or another over the next few years. Now, without sort of getting into the political debate, what do you see as faster internet speeds giving to both Australia and MYOB?
So I think right now we're seeing people move to the cloud, and when they move to the cloud, they're seeing massive business performance improvements, right? They're more efficient, they can collaborate better, it's opening up different models of how people work. The NBN is going to make that transition better, right? Faster, more reliable networks. It improves the opportunity for businesses to provide cloud-based services, knowing that their customers, wherever they are, will be able to reliably access those services. I think it's going to have economic impact, right? We need to get people in Australia more onto the cloud, and giving them a high-speed, reliable network absolutely will give them the confidence and the knowledge that when they do that, they will be able to continually access their services, and I think that's really important. So right now, I think there's a lot of adoption of internet technologies and bandwidth. A lot of people have access to bandwidth, but we really need to step that up, and I think the NBN is going to do that.
Sure, and in terms of MYOB, it seems like it'll have a good impact on the Account Right Live products.
Yeah, it'll have impact on all our live products. We have a range of businesses. We have nearly a million customers across Australia and New Zealand. Not all of them are in the big cities. Not all of them have access to high-speed bandwidth. So the NBN is going to really open the door to a lot more of our customers to get benefit from our cloud offerings.
Okay, fantastic. Now, Simon, we were both at a function recently where the main topic was all around telecommuting. What do you think technology is going to do in that regard in the future?
So I personally telecommuted for 8 years from Australia to the US
Wow.
when I was working out there. But I really see a great future for telecommuting and what it offers, especially as the globe is opening up now, and you can get developers and people with expertise in your field anywhere in the world. And so bringing the office closer together virtually, I think it's going to be amazing. I mean, I see, in the distant future, a time when you'll be sitting at home, you'll have screens all around you, and you will be sitting in a 3D office. The person who's on the screen next to you, you'll look across, you'll see them sitting there on the screen, but they will be in their home, and you will all have the same view of this 3D office. It's doable today. It's not far away. It requires some hardware to come down in cost to make it able to roll out en masse. But that's really where it's going. I mean, I've been using the time that I was using for 8 years. I was working remotely from Australia to the US. I was using Skype most of that time, and that was pretty effective. Now across the MYOB offices, we have 7 offices. We have video conferencing technology, and the screens sit at the end of the table. So you look across the table, and you see people sitting there, and that's really engaging. And
Sure.
The next step will be not just sitting across the table, sitting all around you.
So basically the meeting could happen all around the world, and to each user, they're in the same room as everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, I just consider yourself working side by side with your colleagues, right? There's no reason why, not just for a meeting, but if I'm on a team of 4 people, we could all be sitting around what looks like a pod, but we're all at home. But you look to the left, you look to the right, and you see your colleagues, and they can see you.
And no more 2-hour commute to work.
And you reduce the commute. Well, 2 hours would be great. I had 14 hours when I was working to the US.
Now, I know you've done a lot of research around artificial intelligence. You've contributed massively to the software development community over the years. While we're talking about what the future can bring, if you had one wish to what technology could produce in the future, what would that be?
I did a good couple of years of research into artificial intelligence. It was an exciting time for research. I've seen a big shift since I've been out of it now. We were looking at what could happen when you apply a lot of computing power to problems, and I think we found out that not much happens. And the artificial intelligence community have gone back to what's called a brute force method. That is building up small building blocks of functionality and layering it and building up more and more complicated algorithms over time. And that's actually starting to pay back now in a beautiful way. So that's from that field. Besides my dream of having a pet robot, and everyone having a pet robot, where I'd love to see technology go is I would like for everybody to be enabled to actually play with and use and build things with technology. Today, it is the programmers who mostly do it. There are a few tools out there that enable your everyday person to interact with technology and build things, like Excel is pretty powerful, and there are other systems like that, but I want to see that at the next level, right? I want to see everyday people being able to use technology and being able to create, not just use other people's creations.
Sure. And you see that as a distinct possibility?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that is where I think we were there about 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. We were there in a partial sense. We saw the rise of the fourth generation languages and systems like Microsoft Access and Fox Pro and these kind of systems that really brought big system development to a wider range of people. I think the internet's now put a whole new paradigm on top of that, which has kind of set us back a little bit. And I think we're at the early stages right now of working out what that next fourth generation view is going to be of development, including now what it means to have the internet as the foundation communication protocol of that system.
Okay, fantastic. I read that you're constantly installing the latest coding tools onto your own personal laptop. So to putting that onto business now, do you believe that a business should be at the cutting edge of technology?
To innovate, you need to know what is possible. What is possible depends on what the technology can do.
Okay.
So understanding what the technology can do is the number one most important thing. Tim Berners-Lee was here in Australia a few months ago. He spoke to hundreds and hundreds of people across the country. And one of the first questions he asked the audience, and I was in an audience of 1,000 people in one case, put your hand up if you are a computer programmer. And he said, everyone who didn't put your hand up, look around you to who those were that did, because they understand what can be done and you need them, right? And that ties into a little bit of what I was saying earlier about we need to bring that software engineering capability to a wider audience. But knowing what is possible is really paramount to working out how you can deliver value to your clients in the next generation. So we need to be doing that. What is possible comes from an understanding and a deep understanding of technology. That's why I do always install the latest tools, a new language I experiment with that comes out, new systems, I give it all a try. And I encourage all my guys to do that. We run innovation days here at MYOB.
Okay.
We will take a couple of days a quarter, and we'll get everyone, maybe 60 people in the team, and we'll say, all right, you got 2 days, what can you build? Go crazy, think outside the box. Even just that thinking is exciting. We mix analysts and product managers and developers, we mix them all together.
Sure.
And it's that combination of what users want, where value is for a customer, coupled with what is absolutely possible. When you start thinking around that boundary, it gets very exciting.
Now, I remember you told me about a game of Pong that you developed for Tech Ed. Did that come out of one of these innovation sessions?
It didn't. That one came out of just me and one of the developers talking about a new technology. We both installed this technology on our computers, and so it's a timely question because we had just installed the latest greatest. We installed the Node.js server, which is a new platform around running JavaScript, which is traditionally run inside the browser, moving JavaScript now to the server side. And so this technology called Node we'd installed, and we'd used some other libraries that come with it. And suddenly we started thinking, hey, what if I had my mobile? The sockets could be, and suddenly it just started to blow up what was possible. And we just pushed the limit until we got, 1,000 people playing Pong. It was pretty exciting.
Fantastic. Today we're talking with Simon Raik-Allen, the CTO of MYOB. Make sure you stay tuned for the rest of this interview.